शिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. It's a wonderful blessing for all of us. We have Guruji here, Sri Jaishankar Narayananji, and just I'll give you a background. Then we'll do it more like an interactive session. Because you know what, and then we'll have Q&As. So Sri Jaishankar Narayananji, obviously, most of you have read. He did his engineering from IIT, back in the 90s. Came to US early 90s. Then was working in New York for some insurance, AIG VA. And then always curious to learn. So Puja Swamiji, Dayananda Saraswati Swamiji, as you know, Aarsha Vidya is a great, great soul. No longer with us, but Puja Swamiji came to visit back in the 93-94 time frame. So Guruji went to meet Swamiji and expressed interest to study. So Swamiji gave him permission after a series of dialogues that happened. So he left one night. He left all his job, everything, went to India and studied under Swamiji back in 95, right, Guruji? 95 he left. I studied under Swamiji for 3.5 years, all the Vyakaranam, the Sanskritam, and Prasthanatrayam, mainly Upanishads, Brahma Sutram and Bhagavad Gita, with Swamiji. Then your marriage happened, right? Afterwards. So then he got married. Then he's a Grihastha like us, very learned Grihastha. So that is the difference. Jnani. And since then he has always worked as per Swamiji's instructions, Swami Dayananda Saraswati Swamiji's instructions, and he has helped, in the tsunami time, that all the housing and whatnot. So there is aim for seva that Dayananda Saraswati Swamiji was doing those projects. So Guruji was one of the very key people who was doing those. He actually also works like a regular job, so which is amazing if you think about it. So so then he got his instruction from Swamiji back in 2014, maybe earlier, that you have to set up. Slightly earlier, that you also set up an ashram to teach full time. They are students and like a real ashram, like a full time, not some part time stuff. So he is set up in his native place near Kanyakumari, Theni, right, Guruji?
Theni is like 2.5 hours from our place, but our place is 90 kilometers north of Kanyakumari. So Tirunelveli district.
So that's where he and Sri Vidya ji both are at the ashram. They have a Goshala. They do farming. They have all the pala vriksha and everything, and they teach full time. They work. So an amazing journey. So my first question to you, Swami. So we'll just ask, and then he'll expound on each of those. Then we can all ask questions, and we have other online. So whoever wants to ask questions online, you raise your hand. After 30 minutes or 45 minutes, we'll give that opportunity. What prompted you to take that decision at the age of 20 to 23? Coming here and everything, which is always like it boggles my mind. It's mind blowing that you could do something like that at that age.
Yeah, this is a question, in fact, I have been asked many times. So for me, the main trigger, you can say, that one of the triggers is US itself, because I came to US. And most of us, we come to US thinking that somehow if we come to US and accomplish something, then all our problems will be solved, or we'll be completely satisfied or contented with ourselves. But our experience, even before I came to US also, the experience is that certain things we think are very great achievements and accomplishments, right? Even like clearing the IIT entrance exam itself is a big thing because if you see, I went back to my school. I cleared IIT in 1988. I went back to my school in 2008 or something. In those 20 years, there was nobody else. I was the only guy till then, at least. I don't know now if anybody is there. So it was a great accomplishment in one way. But if you go to the college, everybody else also is there with the same credential, correct? They have also cleared the same exam. Some people are even better than you. They have better rank than you and all that. So that means once you accomplish something, it is no more great, correct? Our sights are set on something else.
Mm.
So everything is great only till you achieve it. I think even Mount Everest, if you want to reach, after you reach the peak, what do? You stay there for some time and you have to get down. I think you can't do anything
Correct.
more than that. So that was something which I was thinking about. And once I came to US, it became even more acute in the sense that uh, first month in US and all was very awesome. Like I was just amazed by the infrastructure and all the different things which are available here. But then I also found out that fundamentally we have not changed. As a human being, whatever problems I have, it doesn't get solved by better infrastructure or having more comforts or earning more money and all that. So, like I always used to say, in India we were uncomfortably unhappy. In US you can be comfortably unhappy. So there is only that main difference. Okay. So in fact, with all the comforts, you have more time to be unhappy. I think at least in India you are working very hard to become comfortable. Even, your day-to-day life itself is very occupying your mind a lot more. I think so. Here you have more leisure, but if you are not able to handle that leisure, then that itself becomes a problem. So for me at that time, my thought process was that whatever I can achieve in this life, when I think about it, or when I thought about it at that time, I felt that I will not be totally satisfied or content even after achieving, whether it is money or becoming some big shot in my career or becoming very famous and all that. Because or even becoming a politician or having a lot of power, etc. Because all the people who were having all these things also, I could see that they were not content with themselves. They all had a lot of problems. Some of them even committed suicide and all that. Correct? We can't even understand that. We think that somebody is great, accomplished, and having a great life and all that. But what is going on in their mind, we don't know. They are having a lot of problems, maybe. Correct? So this was something. It became very acute after coming to US because at least up till the time I came to US, I thought US jaake something will be better and all that, but it didn't happen really. So then I was a little bit disillusioned, you can say, because I didn't know what to do then. So what do I do with my life now? I wanted, as a young person, all of us are looking forward to something great achievements and all that. We have a lot of energy
Right.
also, correct? So, but I couldn't really uh, focus on anything as I really want to achieve this and all that. But then actually at the time, what gave me some hope is that I have always heard even in our Purana, Itihasa and all we hear what the story is that even kings, after leading a royal life of power and whatever, all the luxuries, they were not satisfied with that life, correct? They had to leave everything and go to some forest and learn from some rishi, some muni, and all that. So that used to then that came to my mind, and I thought maybe something else is there, which is there even in our very tradition. We are talking about something more than worldly pursuits and accomplishment, which is the one which will really give you satisfaction and all. So at that time, I also started reading lot of biographies of our saints and gurus. So one of the The early biographies I read was of Ramana Maharishi. Ramana, many of you may be knowing. So he was a normal school going kid actually. Maybe I don't know, 14 or 16 years old in Madurai, near Madurai or in Madurai. Then he had some experience and all that, and then he just went to Tiruvannamalai. He felt that he had to go to Tiruvannamalai. There he went and he threw away everything, and then he was basically he was in a cave or wherever it is, somewhere he was living without any possessions or anything. And then there he, of course, he would have come across many people there also. Because Tiruvannamalai itself is a very sacred place and holy place, and a lot of sadhus, all of them are there. Then basically all his life he lived there. He didn't go beyond a radius of maybe 10 kilometers in his whole life. And he didn't really possess anything which others and all we think so-called successful people are having so many things, but that did not give them any satisfaction or contentment. But Ramana didn't have anything, but he is sitting there happily, and all these other people are going to him saying that you help me now. So that was something which really attracted me about his life. Then I thought, then I should have what Ramana has rather than what everybody else are going after. I should really then work towards what all our saints and our gurus and all they have achieved. So that was really then a motivating thing for me at that time. So then I was also like I shifted to New York, New Jersey. Initially I was in Bay Area, but then I came to New York, New Jersey, and then I was also living with yoga teachers as a paying guest. So they had a big collection of all our spiritual books and all that. So I used to read a lot of books at that time, particularly during my commute because I had to commute to New York City and come back. That's like a couple of hours every day. So by reading all these books, I was really motivated and all that. But still, I had no clarity about what I want to do. I was doing many things. I was doing meditation. I was trying to study myself different books on Vedanta and other spiritual books and all that. But still, I felt like I'm at a dead end. I didn't know exactly what to do, or I didn't have any clarity about how to go about. But I had an idea that I wanted this. So that is when I met my guru. One of my colleagues, he just took me to Aarsha Vidya Gurukulam in Sailorsburg, which is like a 90-minute drive from where I was in New Jersey. So when I heard my Guruji speaking, he had a certain clarity in the way he was talking about the subject matter. So I was very impressed by that, and then I wanted to study with him. That's how the whole thing started.
Amazing, amazing journey. Amazing. So here we are today, and I'm so inspired. When I joined your classes and all. So to come to the topic for today, if so, there is so much confusion because the knowledge we have is so vast. Like the ocean. It's so vast. We all know the root is Vedam, right? But then you have all these secondary, tertiary texts, and we don't know where to start. Everybody is like, okay, there is, oh, yoga is the knowledge. Somebody says, no, Ayurveda. Somebody says something. Somebody is going to meditation. Somebody is going to pranayama. Somebody is doing. It's so vast and it's incomprehensible for a layman. So the question, that many people ask, I'm asking on their behalf, is if you can, summarize to the audience, general audience, uh, the Veda, in the Veda itself, the Purva Bhaga, which is all the what we call the Samhita and Brahmana, and then the Aranya, and now part of the Aranyaka, the Upanishads, and the distinction between the Purva Bhaga and the Uttara, the Vedanta, and what is that goal? What is, at least give us some summary level idea of where to start. We are all lost, right? So if you can put that context, that will be very helpful for all of us.
Sure. Yeah. So basically, all of us are looking for happiness, correct? We want to be happy, contented, satisfied with ourselves. So that is the main purushartha, or what I really want to achieve. But I don't know, at least in my own understanding, I think I am subjected to sorrow. I have so many limitations with reference to the knowledge I have about the world, about myself. So whichever way I look at myself, I am looking at myself as a limited person. So this is a common problem, or a fundamental problem, we can say, for all human beings. But we don't know where to start, like you said. So because everything, so many people have different claims. It's like a spiritual supermarket, correct? Where
Correct.
you put a kid into a supermarket or something, or a Toys R Us, or I don't know whether Toys R Us is there anymore. It got bankrupt, I think. But he won't know. The kid will not know, correct? He will be running around and he want everything, in fact.
Right.
So it is like that. We don't know what we want really. So that is where, before we even start anything, we should first understand what is our problem and what will resolve this problem. Once you have a clarity there, then the means also will become clear to you. So unless the end is clear, what I really want, what will solve my fundamental problem, if that is not clear, then you will be seeking different things only, correct? Because as I told you, even after achieving something, once you have accomplished something, it's not great. In your own vision, it becomes something. Anyway, you have done that, correct? Now you are looking at something
Next
else.
thing.
That's what is samsara, in fact. Samsara means you keep going from one thing to the other, and it's a never ending cycle. It's a vicious cycle. So, our problem is that in my own judgment, I am a limited person in whichever way I look at myself. If that is the truth, then I cannot do anything about that, correct? If something is real, what we call as reality or satyam, satyam means it should not change. If if I am limited, I am like this only. If that is the satyam, then really, in fact, I cannot do anything about it. I cannot change whatever is satyam. But the thing is, instinctively, I am not able to accept that reality. Correct? If that is my nature, whatever is natural to me should be totally acceptable to me also. But that's not the case with anybody. Everybody instinctively struggling to get rid of all these limitations, correct? Whichever way you look at yourself, with reference to time means I am a mortal, but I don't like that. Everybody wants to live one more day at least. With reference to enjoyment also, I want to be everywhere and enjoy everything, but in fact, as the age progresses, even my own sense organs are all failing. I'm not even able to enjoy simple things, leave alone so many things which the world is offering. So that being the case, my limitations are my problems. Okay? Let us forget with reference to what, whichever way you look at it, you are limited. But that limitation which is centered on myself, I am not able to accept that. So my fundamental problem is one of self non-acceptance. This is what all of us should understand. Whoever it is, why do you want to do something? Basically, you want to accomplish something means you want to become somebody. Right now, whoever you are not able to accept that fact and be content with that. So you want to become somebody. You want to gain something and become somebody and all. So that life of becoming is the problem. And becoming itself is there because you are not acceptable to yourself as you are right now. Otherwise, you don't want to become anything, you can be as you are. But that's not there. So, if that is the problem, And if limitation is what you are not able to accept with reference to yourself, then the only solution is that you want to get freedom from all your limitations, correct? That's what we call moksha. Moksha as a purushartha is there. Other than that, everybody, even animals are seeking artha kama, we say. Security and pleasure is common between animals and human being. Then, but we also have dharma, because if we want to seek something, we know what is right, what is wrong. We are not totally governed by our instincts. So there is a matrix of values which we all sense commonly. And there is a Samanya Dharma, then Vishesha Dharma, and all that is there. Veda also is adding to all that. So you are leading your life according to a certain values and all that, but even then it's not enough, because you are still the limited person searching for something, correct? But what you really want, even when you are seeking Arthakama or Dharma, is freedom from any kind of limitation. So what we need is freedom, freedom from all limitation. If that is clear to you, then the only solution for that is limitless. Correct? If you want to be free from all limitations, then you have to attain limitlessness. But how can I attain limitlessness? Limitless means it has to be there already. You cannot newly create the limitless, because limitless means time wise it has to be there already, it has to be now, it has to be forever. In fact, it has to be free from time itself. Similarly, limitless means you can't go somewhere. You cannot go to Vaikunta, Golok, Brindavan, or wherever it is, correct? Limitless means it has to be there right now, here. Space wise also, you don't have to go anywhere. Limitless has to be there here and now. That's what we say. You cannot create it newly. You cannot go somewhere and achieve it or anything. If it is really limitless, it has to be there here. In fact, it cannot be separate from you. That is the thing we have to arrive at, correct? This much we can infer. Whatever is limitless cannot leave yourself out. If you are out of that limitless, then you are only limiting that, correct?
Correct.
Because you are
There is distance and time.
You are
Space and
so
time.
basically what we are saying is space wise, time wise, object wise, something has to be everything, correct? It has to encompass everything. That alone can be the limitless. If it is not separate from you, really, you are already the limitless. It's the only solution you can have. But if I am already the limitless, why am I so miserable then to start with? So that is the problem, correct? I am miserable. I am subjected to sorrow. I don't like what I, when I look at myself, I am having problem. You are not able to be with yourself for a period of time also. You leave somebody for a couple of days in a room and don't allow them to watch Netflix also, nothing. Okay. Then they'll go mad, I think. That is the problem. That is the tragedy, correct? So that means you are not able to be with yourself. But if I am the limitless, then why am I having all this problem? Means that's what when the Shastra is saying. That's why you have ignorance about yourself. So the Shastra only has to come and first tell you what is your problem. And then Veda itself is saying the solution also is that the problem is ignorance. You don't know who you are really. You think that you are something. You have a certain identity, but that self-identity is wrong. It's not. It's erroneous knowledge really. You have to know yourself, your truth. What is your reality? And that reality is that you are the limitless. That is the teaching. In fact, the teaching is very simple. And since you do not know that, you have ignorance. It is like having this on my head and then searching all over the place, correct? So what do we say that? It's not that I am already the one with the spectacle. But I am searching everywhere. In fact, you won't find, because the one who is searching is the sort also, correct? I am already the one with the spectacles, but now I am searching for the spectacles. This is the typical problem. This is the ignorance we are talking about. Then somebody has to come and tell you, correct? Your wife will come and say, hey, see, you already have it. And you are searching all over. So that is the kind of then somebody has to come and tell you. That is the Guru. Guru and Shastra only has to come and show you who you are. Now, in this again, like you said, everybody is talking about one yoga, correct? Even Bhagavad Gita you take, they say that Arjuna Vishada Yoga, it starts with. Okay. Is that a new yoga or what? Arjuna Vishada means the distress of Arjuna. Arjuna is in problem. That is not a new yoga. In fact, every chapter of Bhagavad Gita is called a yoga. Right? It is Shri Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, and all we chant one chapter and we say. So that means yoga, the word can come in many meanings. One of the meaning is that the Vishaya. Yoga also means subject matter and all that. So basically Arjuna Vishada Yoga means the subject matter of that particular chapter is Arjuna's Vishada or his distress. Anyway, so yoga word is a confusing word, and so many paths and all that also people are talking about. But fundamentally what we have to understand is, if our problem is one of ignorance, the solution can only be of knowledge. All ignorance related problems can only be solved by knowledge. And if that ignorance is centered on me, if I am the problem, my self-identity is the problem, solution also has to be centered on myself. I have to discover my reality, and that can come only by knowledge. If knowledge is the only solution, knowledge means again prerequisites are there. For any knowledge, prerequisite is there. If you want to study quantum mechanics, means you should know already some mathematics and all that, some basic physics, classical physics and all you should know already. So for every training they put prerequisite, correct? Even any training you attend, corporate training, everywhere we have prerequisite. Like that, the self-knowledge also has prerequisites. That is where variations are there. Because each person is at a different level. If somebody who has already gone to a college and all that, their level of prerequisite is different. Somebody who is having a different background, their prerequisite is different. So to make yourself qualified for this knowledge, all the different sadhanas are there. And those sadhanas again depend on who you are, at what stage of life you are, what is your background already in your life. And of course, all these things, there are so many differences are there, and one person's sadhana may not even fit another person. Correct? It all depends. So you have to work out what works for you. But all this sadhana is for what purpose? That also some clarity has to be there. There are two important qualifications for this knowledge, we say. One is called Chitta Shuddhi, another is called Chitta Naischalnyam. Two things are there. Because Chitta means mind. So another important thing is all knowledge takes place only in the mind. So let me make this clear. There is nothing beyond the mind and all. The reality is beyond the mind is correct, but that also you have to understand only in your mind.
Correct.
So people make it unnecessarily mystic. There is nothing mystic about Vedanta, about this whole pursuit. There is nothing mystic. All knowledge takes place only in your mind. That means you have to prepare your mind for this knowledge. And in that two important things are there. One is, as I said, Chitta Shuddhi. Now you say purification of mind and all that. Okay. Shuddhi means pure mind, let us say. Now pure means you have to define what is impure. What is impurity in your mind? Then only I will know what to purify. You don't even know what is impure. Then how will you purify? Now that also is said very clearly. Impurity is raga dvesha. Okay. Very clear, very simple terms. Raga dvesha. Raga means like. Dvesha means dislike, hatred, whatever. Correct? So raga and dvesha are the impurities for every human being. Why is it said as impurity? That is because raga dveshas can put you under certain pressure, correct? You are pressurized by your own raga dvesha to do so many things. And the very fact that you have raga and dvesha implies that you are a wanting person. Correct? Why do you have a like or a dislike? Because you want something so desperately. That means you like it. You don't want something desperately means that is a dislike, let us say. In both the cases, the thinking is that if I don't have this, I will not be happy. Or if I have this thing with me, I will not be happy. Right? That is the problem. And why do you think if you don't have this, you won't be happy? Because that is the want, correct? You are lacking in some manner. So every raga dvesha is implying that you are a wanting person, you are a lacking person, you are a limited person. That is the point. And that you cannot accept anyway. So it is going back to your fundamental problem when you understand. So being a person who is under the spell of raga dvesha, you cannot appreciate yourself as the limitless really. There is no way you can do that. So the main thing first is you have to get rid of your raga dvesha, let us, or the spell of raga dvesha, we say. Raga dvesha itself you cannot get rid of. Okay, that is there always. Otherwise you won't be even a human being. Okay. Basically certain personal likes and dislikes are all there, but it should not be binding. So this raga dvesha pressurizes you to do the wrong thing. That is the problem in fact. See, we all know what is right, what is wrong. You cannot feign ignorance. Let me tell you that. Ignorance is not a defense. Even in a court of law, you cannot go to the judge and say, I did not know, or you get a traffic ticket. You say, no, I did not know what the speed limit was. The cop will not leave you, correct? Yeah. He will tell you that you are supposed to know, you are supposed to know that. So ignorance is not a defense anywhere. We all know what is right and wrong, but you also have your likes and dislikes. Two different things. Then where is the conflict? Where is the problem? If your like is what is right, you are spontaneously dharmic, in fact you will be even happy because you are doing the right thing and you are liking it. That's the best scenario. But most of the time maybe it doesn't happen. And what is wrong is what you don't like, then also there is no problem. You are very happy avoiding certain things. But most of the time, what is the problem? Whatever I like is either illegal, immoral, or calorific, like that somebody said. Okay, so there is a problem. There is a conflict always now. This conflict is there because you are under the spell of your own likes and dislikes. That is the impurity which the Shastra is talking about. You have to come out of that. How will I come out of that? I cannot come out of that just sitting like that and all that. We are always impelled to do something. Nobody can sit just like that. So Bhagavan says, by doing only you have to get rid of this also. Then doing what? You do your duty. Swakarma. So everybody again has certain roles. We all have roles. As soon as you are born, you are a son, daughter, whatever, correct? At least as a child, you do not have any duties. But after you go to the school, then as a student, you have a duty to study. And then after you grow up, we take up so many more roles. Every role is coming with a lot of duties. You have to do this, to be done, things are there. So Bhagavan says, do all that. Whatever is to be done, you do. Kartavyam. Whatever is kartavyam, to be done, you do. But what is the attitude? You do it because it is to be done. It's not because you think that by getting the result of that, I will become happy. That's not the point. But you have to do what is to be done. In any given situation, if something is to be done, you know what is right and wrong. Or if you are confused, you have a responsibility to get clarification. Go to your guru, go to your elders, go to your father, whoever it is. Go to somebody who will give you advice without keeping their own interest in that. Okay, that also the Shastra itself says. Aluksha dharma kamasyu. Like that, if you remember Taittiriya Upanishad, you may have. learned the chanting.
Marshanaha,
Aluksha dharma kamasyu. Whoever is dharma kama, okay, go to them. They are not interested in their own benefit or anything. Okay, go and seek advice from such people and know what is right, what is wrong. If you are confused, because dharma sankata is there. Sometimes confusion can be there. We are not saying everybody will have clarity and all that. But as a human being, you are either you should know what is right and wrong, or you should get clarified with reference to that, and then you should be free enough to do the right thing. Correct? The real freedom, according to our Shastra, freedom is not that you do whatever you like. That is not freedom. In fact, if you do that, then soon you are going to actually infringe on somebody else's freedom, and that guy will give you a couple of slaps, means then you are back to senses. Correct? You cannot be like that. That's not real freedom. Freedom is you are free enough to do the right thing. That means you have a certain leisure. You are not pressured by anything. You are not pressured by your own likes and dislikes, and you are able to do whatever is to be done in a given situation, let us say. Now, that is one thing. If you are able to do that, then you are a yogi. That is a yoga, in fact. What Bhagavan calls as yoga is a buddhi yoga, he says. In the Gita, this is called buddhi yoga. Buddhi yoga means what? You do whatever is to be done, and you are doing it so that you can come out of the spell of your own likes and dislikes. You are not doing it for some limited result or anything. That is called yoga buddhi. And with that attitude, you do whatever is to be done. That is yoga buddhi. You are a yogi then. Yogi is the one who is doing whatever is to be done in his life so that I can manage my own likes and dislikes. I become the master of my own likes and dislikes. And having a likes and dislikes is not a problem. Bhagavan says later on, Dharma aviruddha kamosmi bharatarshava. I am there in you as your likes and dislikes, which are dharma aviruddha. It's not that whatever is not against dharma and whatever likes and dislikes you have is me. I am manifest because again all of us have certain shakti. It's all Bhagavan. Bhagavan only is manifest as the Kriya Shakti, Jnana Shakti, Icha Shakti also. So Icha Shakti is there. Icha Shakti is a privilege. It's not a problem. It becomes a problem when your Icha is so much that you are ready to do adharma. Right? Otherwise, Icha is a Shakti, it is a privilege. Only you can desire for an iPad. Correct? A cow cannot desire for iPhone, iPad because it doesn't have that Icha Shakti itself. Cow cannot desire for Chinese food or a candlelight dinner and all that. We all can desire that. That itself is a privilege, a power we have. We have the power to know how to accomplish that desire, and we have a power to do also after knowing. All that we have. But where is the problem? The problem is that unless I fulfill that desire, I will not be happy. If you think like that, there is the problem. And if you are ready to do adharma to fulfill your desire, there is a bigger problem. Okay? So those are all the things you have to address. If you address that and lead a life of yoga, then you will attain what is called chitta shuddhi. You are free. In fact, you will become free from conflicts also, because once you are able to spontaneously do the right thing, there is no conflict in your life. Then there is only one thing. But still, what if there are more than one right choice available? That is a good problem to have, correct? First, in fact, really speaking, for a dharmika, there is no choice between right and wrong. Wrong is not at all a choice, really. You have to always go with whatever is right. Then you are a dharmika. But even with right, I have no problem. I have too many right things. What do I do? That is a human problem. You can only do prayer. That's why every day you have to do Gayatri. Gayatri means what? Gayatri, you are telling Bhagavan that you are the one who is going, you impel my mind so that I make the right choices. Right? That is Gayatri mantra. So, Bhargo Diyo Yona Prachodaya. That is the prayer there. The other things are all there. We are talking about your bright and all that. But Naha also it is a plural. Not only for you. In fact, most of our prayers are all in plural. Why is it in plural? Means the prayer is for everybody. So Naha, it is not may. It is Naha is plural. Our minds, you impel our minds. That is the prayer to the Savita Devata. Bhagavan has to impel us for us so that we make the right choices. Even amongst the right things, whatever is good for me, I have to make the correct choice. Means even there we need Bhagavan's help. We cannot choose. We don't know. We don't have complete knowledge about everything. We don't know. We don't control all the variables. There are too many unknown things. In that I have to still take the right choice. Itself, there you have to take the help of Bhagavan. Anyway, so this Chitta Shuddhi is one part. Then Chitta Naishchalyam is where other Ashtanga Yoga or whatever, all things. Even to pursue moksha, you should have a healthy body. So there is no doubt that everything, even yoga asana is very helpful thing. Okay. All pranayama, you do pranayama can again help you to have a certain mastery over your mind, correct? Because once you master the breath, with the breath control, then you can just, even simple thing, you keep watching your breath, your mind is now engaged in something mechanical like that, then you cannot think about other things, correct?
Correct.
So mind will attain a certain focus. Prana Vikshanam, we say. Pranayama is okay, it's a more advanced thing. Prana Vikshanam anybody can do. You just observe your breath for 1 minute, then your mind will calm down. Because it's not thinking about something else and worried and all that. So like that, to study the Shastra, you should have focus, you should have concentration, one-pointedness. So that is called Chitta Naishchalya, means it's not moving here and there. Chalati means it's moving. Yeah, Achala means mountain also is called Achala because it doesn't move relatively at least. Correct. So this Naishchalya means Nischala means not moving. So you are able to focus your mind. So you have a conflict-free mind which is not under the spell of the desires, which is able to focus one-pointedly on the teaching of the Shastra and the Guru. Then you are qualified student. So here all the sadhanas are there. Of course, bhakti and puja and all that are also all part of karma yoga. It's all your duties. Daily we have nitya karma, naimittika karma and all we say. So as a householder, you have certain things which are mandated for you, you do that. You are supposed to do that. So everything falls into place, I hope. Is it clear?
Yes. So far.
Then but still you have to do Shastra, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. That is the final thing. Because if your goal is that you want moksha, so you prepare yourself like this. And then still you have to go to a guru. You find a guru who himself has studied the Shastra and who is committed to a lifestyle as revealed in the Shastra. Such a person you have to go and study.
And Veda is the primordial.
Okay. Veda, how do we look at the Veda? Now, this is a bigger confusion for modern people. Because everybody is saying Veda is scientific. Okay, this is a big statement. Yoga is scientific, Veda is scientific. Yoga is inner science or whatever. They even have some courses and all that. Right? Some engineering, technology and all terminologies we are using now. All. So by that we think that we can attract people. Okay, but basically there is some confusion in all this, I think. Okay, so Veda traditionally, if you take the Rigveda Bhumika, Rigveda Bhashya Bhumika is there. Sayanacharya has written a Rigveda Bhashya. Okay. So in that introduction, what is he saying? what is Veda? He says that. He says, Pratyakshena anumityava yastupayona buddhyate yenam vidanti vedena tasmad vedasya vedata. This is one verse Sainacharya is quoting. Or I think he himself is saying that, I don't know. I forgot. But what he is saying is, whatever is not available through pratyaksha. Pratyaksha means sense perception. Correct? Whatever we are knowing through our five sense organs, all of us we have. So we know the world through that. Sensory perception is there. But not only we have sensory perception, we do inference also based on that. Okay, so whatever is not available through sensory perception and inference, that only the Veda is revealing to me, he says. Or whatever you are knowing, which is not available through your sensory perception and for your inference, whatever you are knowing from the Veda, that only is making the Veda as Veda, he says. Vedasya Vedata is because that Veda is revealing to you something which is not available for your sensory perception and inference. Okay, this is the traditional way of looking at the Veda. Now, what is the implication of this? You have to be very clear, okay? It has a very, very big implication. The big implication is, what is science? Scientists and all, they are objective, they say, correct? We want to study everything objectively. We want to study the world, objective world and all that. And what are the tools they are using for that? Pratyaksha and Anumana only, correct? Of course, science has enhanced perception, you can say, because we have microscope, we have telescope and all that. So we have enhanced perception, but still it is perception. In inference also, they have no more sophisticated ways of doing inference maybe, but basically science is nothing but Pratyaksha and Anumana. Understand that. But Veda, what Sainacharya is saying, Veda is something, Veda should reveal to me something which is not available through Pratyaksha and Anumana. Then only it is really Veda. Otherwise, what we say is, it is only, even if Veda is saying something which is available through Pratyaksha and Anumana, because Veda as a literature is too big, correct? It is talking about so many things. In that, it will say, okay, in fact, there are statements in Yajurveda itself. There is a book called Science in Yajurveda. Correct. Our Tattva Vidyananda Swamiji has written. I don't know whether you have that book. I have that book. Yeah. So, that is correct. Scientific things are all there, but that is all called Anuvada. It is not really taken as Veda, as a Pramana or Veda. Right. They are all only restatements. That is not very important for us. Because if Veda is scientific, I will rather go to Stanford or MIT and study science, correct? Why should I go to Veda? I don't require Veda for that.
To reveal something that is not available through Pratyaksha.
Then how do you know it is correct?
That is the
whatever it is revealing, how do you know it is correct? This is a question, correct? Now this requires a more sophisticated answer. Okay, for that, first you have to understand what is knowledge. Okay, how knowledge takes place. What is knowledge itself, we have to understand. So, when we talk about knowledge, if you ask how do you know it is correct and all that, you are talking about validity of knowledge then. How do you know you are cognizing something? How do you know it is valid cognition? Correct? It's a very fundamental question. So, how do you establish the validity of any cognition? Will you require another cognition for that? This is a question. That is in Shastra, it is called Parataf Pramanam or Swataf Pramanam. Like that, there is an argument is there. Okay, so that's what I am trying to explain in simple English.
Right.
So English, basically, what we are saying, I see. Okay, this is yellow or this is orange, whatever. Correct? Or this is some kind of dirty white.
Correct.
Okay. So how do I know? How do I know this? Because I am seeing. Okay.
Your eyes.
Now I say, how do you know your eyes are seeing correctly? Now you prove that your eyes are seeing correctly that this is white. Do you have any proof? Can you give me a proof? Can any other pramana prove or disprove the eye? You are saying that. You say, okay, this is red, maroon, whatever. Prove now. Prove your eyes are seeing this maroon correctly. Can the ear come and prove that this is maroon? Ear has no access. Ear is only sound. Can the eye prove that the whatever ear is hearing is true?
No.
So from all this, what do you understand then? If you analyze like this, even your sense organs at a fundamental level, you cannot prove anything. Correct?
Yes.
In fact, that itself is a characteristic of a pramana. That's how we define. A means of knowledge traditionally is called pramana. Eye is a means of knowledge because it is revealing to you color, forms. Ear is a means of knowledge because it is revealing to you sound. Nose is a means of knowledge, it is revealing to you whatever, all kinds of fragrances, smell, and also some bad smell and all that, okay? Like that, touches, taste, all these are all means of knowledge. But each one is revealing to you something unique field, correct? One is not overlapping the other, one cannot prove the other, one cannot disprove the other. That itself is the pramana lakshana. That's what we say, anadigatam. In the Shastra, we say that a pramana, a means of knowledge, if it has to reveal to you valid knowledge, whatever it is revealing to you should not be available through any other means. Then only it is really a pramana with reference to that particular revelation. You understand?
Correct.
Now you go back to what Sayana has said. That's why Veda has to reveal to you something which is not available for Pratyaksha and Anumana. Then only it's a pramana. Otherwise it is useless. Correct? The pramana lakshanam is that it has to be anadigatam. But that is only one half of it. I see mirage water. Or colorblind person is seeing this as green or whatever, correct? The mirage water is their problem. But mirage water, what happens? You go near, no water is there. That means a new cognition has negated the original cognition. Now it has become error.
Error.
Initially you thought water is there. You go there near, you don't see any water. So a newer, stronger cognition has negated the older cognition. Now you know that is error. This is knowledge. That means a valid knowledge should not be negated. Is that clear? That is called abaditam. So two lakshanas are there for pramana. One is anadigatam, another is abaditam. It should not be negated. Then only it's valid knowledge. If something is negated, then it becomes error. But for error only you require another cognition. So you understand now? Swataf pramanyam, parataha apramanyam. This is what we say in the Shastra. Means validity is self-valid. Every cognition is valid until it is disproved or negated. Correct? Otherwise you can't do any vyavahara. If you wait for some, you say, okay, this cognition is there. To prove this I need something else. Then how do you know that something else is valid then? You cannot say I need something more, correct? Then it will become infinite regress.
Right.
Then nobody can do anything. You are only waiting for your cognition to become valid. You can never do anything. But we are doing so many things. Transactions are taking place. How? Because every cognition is valid by itself. Unless it is disproved. For disproving, you require one more cognition, which is valid by itself. That's why this got disproved. You understand now? It doesn't go into an infinite regress. Right. So, this is how we... So, from this, all this, what I am trying to say is, Veda cannot be scientific. Understand that? In fact, we don't want it to be scientific.
The moment it is scientific, it has a problem with Pratyaksha and Anumana. It becomes...
It is only Anuvada. It is only restating something. That's why
we don't need Veda.
We don't need Veda.
Million other things.
Then what are all the things Veda is revealing like that then? If
correct.
science is not able to reveal means Veda is saying there is Swargam. Can science prove or disprove that? Nobody can even say I went to Swarga and came back. Then you will send him to some
Mental.
So it is. So that is the point. Some people are, what is the proof that there is Swarga? Hey, then you have to ask me, what is the proof that this is red? This is white. You first give me proof for that.
Correct.
Correct? Because it is revealed by Veda. And since you are considering the Veda as a pramana, then Swarga also is valid knowledge. Is that correct?
Because it's not revealed by anything else.
And then the more important thing is that you are considering the Veda as a pramana is what is called Shraddha. Correct? Astikya buddhi. That is what is called Astika means for us, you accept the Veda as a valid source of knowledge. Is that clear? Whatever Veda says is Asti. It is there. If you say that, you are a Astika. You don't have to accept Ishvara. Understand that. The Purva Mimamsaka, who is a very, very staunch Vaidika, does not accept the Ishvara.
Only Yajna.
He says the world is always like this. Because Ishvara, how do we look at Ishvara in our tradition? Or most tradition, Ishvara means Karta, creator, correct?
Right.
But for saying that there has to be a creator, you have to say this world is a creation.
Correct.
Unless you establish the world as a creation, you don't require a creator, correct?
Correct.
So there are many, even Jaina people and all, they say world is always like this.
So then they become the Nastika.
Jaina or Nastika, because they don't accept what the Veda says. Purva Mimamsaka is an Astika.
Astika.
But he also says Devatas are all there, okay, but they are all always there as it is. Why do you require a creation?
Right.
It need not be created.
Right.
It's always like this. Steady state and all nowadays they talk. Like some people even in physics they talk about Big Bang and all is not necessary. There is always the universe is there in a steady state. You can say that. That means with reference to the world and Ishvara and all that, within the world nobody can come to any conclusion. One person will say one thing, another will say another. They are all fighting amongst themselves. Then who has to finally ascertain this is this? Only the Veda can do that. Understand again. Veda only comes and says there is an Ishvara who is the Jagat Karanam. Jagat has a Karanam. That Jagat Karanam is Ishvara. All this Veda only has to reveal. You cannot ask for any proof again because now you have accepted the Veda as a Pramana. Understand? Veda, like that it also reveals you are the limitless. Understand that?
So from there,
finally, and it says there is Papa Punya. Again, right. Papa Punya is something only Veda has to reveal. Because our tradition is what? Every action has two results. Understand that? Not Papa Punya. Papa Punya is one type of result. Another is whatever you experience, correct? See, you want to achieve something, you know the means for that, you are doing it. Correct? And then you are experiencing something immediately. That is called Drishtapal. That's what is called Drishta means what? Whatever you are experiencing. Your own action, the results of that action you are experiencing means that is called Drishtam. That means whatever you are able to see, correct? Whatever you are able to experience immediately or whatever, depending on the action, it can be immediate, it can be delayed. But whatever it is, there is a Drishtapalam. But then Veda says there is also Adrishtam. Adrishtam means it is translated as luck in English. But Adrishta is there in all Indian language. Adrishta is unseen. It is not luck. Understand that. There is no luck in our culture. Luck is a foreign word for us. It has got nothing to do with us. Adrishta means it is not seen by you, but it is there. And Veda is saying there is Adrishtapalam. And how do you get the Adrishtapalam then? If you do the right thing, you get Punyam. If you do something wrong, you get Papa. And these two also you are all the time accumulating. But you are not seeing it. You cannot see it. That's why it is Adrishtam.
It can manifest.
And
down
it
somewhere.
will again manifest as pleasant or unpleasant experience. If you have punya, you will have pleasant experience. If you have papa, you can have unpleasant experience. Then how do I know all this? Papa punya, I don't want to believe. But it doesn't go, it is actually in keeping with your experience, correct? Our experience is what? Many times I do something, but I don't get, I say that I have put all the right effort, but I didn't get the correct result. But sometimes I didn't put any effort, I got windfall. Okay.
So it is
Some other time I wanted to do something and I woke up somewhere in hospital and all that, correct? Something totally opposite.
right.
So basically what we know is whatever effort I may be putting in, I don't control all the variables. The result of my action
Yes.
can be anything.
And it may not be immediate. It can come
Correct.
generations.
So that means some other factor also is operating. That much we can understand, correct? That's what the Veda is coming and filling up. It says it's nothing but your own papa and punya. So once you accept papa punya, again it helps you. Why? Because then you cannot blame Ishvara also. Yeah, it is your own papa. Even if you have some difficulty, you have nobody else to blame. Understand that. Of course, you can take the help of Ishvara, you can pray and say, okay, whatever papa I did, still you mitigate it somehow. So prayer and all is only to neutralize our papa and enhance our punya. Okay. That's why you have to do it every day, because every day some papa or punya is it is all exhausting. Okay. Because once you accept papa punya, then the whole thing everything is there. Correct? We say that this life itself started with some accumulated papa punya. For this life, Bhagavan has given you, okay, you have to expend all this punya and papa. That's how the life starts. But then during the life also you are doing so many things and accumulating more. But what you accumulate, let it be punya. That's why every day you have to do prayers, you do the right thing, all that we say. You lead a life of dharma, means you are gaining punya. Otherwise, you are going to have papa and then it will have its own consequence. Nobody can escape the consequence of any of these things. Okay. So anyway, so I hope.
So the Veda, the Purva Bhagam, especially Samhita, all the yajnas, all we are doing, is taking us through this journey, and it's what do you call, in our own mind concretizing, because we said asti first, right? Then we have to believe the next step.
So we say asti,
right?
And then by doing whatever the Veda is saying, what even Adi Shankara keeps saying this in the Brihadaranyaka Bhashya, in our class you see, there is a natural tendency is what for all of us to go along with our sense organs, right?
Right.
Whatever is titillating to the sense organs,
we
want to do that. But no, Veda says, no, do Sandhya Vandanam daily, sit and do this japa. No, there is no ruchi.
Yes.
There is a problem. Rather, I'll sit or I'll be sleeping in my bed. Why should I get up in the morning? Brahma Muhurte. Why should I get up 4:30 in the morning? I don't have to get up every day 5:30. Why should I get up 4:30, 5:30, whatever it is? So that's what. If you are able to overcome your natural tendency and still do whatever is said by the Shastra, that itself then again it's a way of overcoming your ragadvesha, correct?
So it goes to the root.
So whatever the Veda Purva Bhaga is there, all the karma you do in that. In that we say that kamya karma alone you can leave out. I want to go to Swarga, I want to do lot of wealth and all that. Okay, those things specifically what is kamya you leave out. But nitya naimitika karma you have to do. If you do like that, then you gain a certain mastery over your own likes and dislikes. That is the first step.
to remove that
That's what I
impurity
said.
which we started
Chitta
with.
Shuddhi. For Chitta Shuddhi, Purva Bhaga is necessary. Nobody can bypass that. Okay. Then, of course, the Aranyaka part is where Upasana and all is given, correct? That is for Chitta Naishchalya.
Yes.
So, the entire Veda is useful. Okay, it's not that you can say
You
that
can remove part and then
it's
say, I
not
will
like
only
that.
do this. Because there is a lot of things where say, I am a karma yogi, I am a bhakti yogi, I am a jnana yogi. There
That
is
is
nothing
another
like
confusion, I think. See, Bhagavan says Lokes means Dvidanishta. If you take the second chapter, what does he say? He says Lokes means Dvidanishta. In this world, Nishta means you can take it as a lifestyle, committed lifestyle. There are only two committed lifestyles which are given by the Shastra. What is that? Either you are a Grihastha or you become a sannyasi. Okay. Jnana yogena sankhyanam, karma yogena yoginam. Now, 99% of the people are not fit for sannyasa. Let me tell you. Or even those who have, I have seen so many sannyasis up close, so I don't want to say anything. But I can say that 99% of the people, or even more than that, 99.99 are not
fit.
So don't even think about it. But Arjuna kept on asking that only to Bhagavan.
Right.
Bhagavan kept on saying in all 18 chapters that you do,
Your
you
duty.
fight, you
Then-
do your duty. Then you can think of other things, correct? But when you do your duty, you do it with yoga buddhi, correct? And that is karma yoga. In that, whatever you do, everything falls, correct? Without bhakti, there is no karma yoga. Because karma yogi recognizes that Bhagavan only is the giver of the fruits of the action, correct? Karma pala data is not me. The karmi thinks that I am successful, I am a failure. If you think you are successful, no, you also have to think you are a failure. Why? Because 90% of your desires you are not able to fulfill, correct? Whoever you are, for everyone, if you think about all the likes and dislikes you had from the time of childhood, in fact, most of the things you would have even forgotten, no? But whatever you can remember, in that if you put a list and see how many you have really fulfilled, everybody is a failure. Nobody will be a successful person. But the modern world makes you think that you are successful only if you fulfill your desires, correct? That is a very bad way of defining success itself. In fact, you are defining yourself to become a failure.
So everything is set to fail.
You are setting up yourself for failure only.
Correct.
If you look at it like that, there is nobody can be successful. But what does our Shastra say? It is not saying like that. It says that you are successful if you are able to manage your likes and dislikes. Correct? If you are free enough to do the right thing, you are swakarmana tam abhyarchya siddhim vindati manavaha. Like this Bhagavan says. Yatah pravrittir bhutanam yena sarvam idam tatam swakarmana tam abhyarchya siddhim vindati manavaha. This is there in the 18th chapter of Gita. So what does he say? How do I worship Bhagavan? He says swakarmana. Do your duty first. In fact, everything else comes within your duty. Even the Nitya Puja and all is part of your duty only. Bhakti Yoga is not something separate. It's all part of
the same duty.
Same. There is only one lifestyle for you. You are a Grihastha, you have your duties, do that. And while doing that, you are already recognizing Bhagavan as the Karma Pala Data, means you are a Bhakta. You cannot be anything but a Bhakta, correct? Being a Bhakta only, we can do everything in fact. The Bhakta is the base role. Every other role, if the Bhakta is playing all other roles, you have no problem in life, correct? If you think you are playing that role, then you will have only problems. The Bhakta is the basic thing because we are all related to Bhagavan.
Correct.
We think our father and mother really did not make us, correct? If they really made us, they would have made us differently, I think. So So they cannot also claim I am the real creator and all that. You came through your father and mother. That's all you can say. But everything is given to us. As soon as you are born, oxygen is there, water is there, food is there. Everything is given. And you have to recognize the giver, correct? If everything is given and you don't recognize the giver, then that's a problem again. In fact, we go one step further. You recognize the giver in the given. Given also is not separate from the giver, correct, for us.
Correct. Recognize the giver in the given. Yes. So that is wonderful. And the Vedanta aspect of this, from what, so you go back to Raga Dvesha, the seed, and your managing of the likes and dislikes, the Raga Dvesha, and the perspective you achieve, the absolute control you achieve over that, is that the Purva Paksha and the Vedanta, that is where Vedanta talks to that.
Then only you become qualified to study Vedanta.
So that is a mumukshu.
Of course, we don't say that we cannot measure all these things. Only each person knows what is happening in his mind or what his thought process is there, and nobody is there to judge you or anything like that. But the Shastra will become phalitam. It will work for you only if you have a certain maturity with reference to all these things.
Yes, yes, please.
So I have a question on this one of the sloka in 18th chapter. So it says Adhisthana Tata Karta Sarvam Chittatam Vividasha Chitta Cheshta Daivam Chaivata Panchami. So here, okay, everybody has different experiences in life, and my experience is like Daiva is Bhagya or
Daivam here is the Papa Punya also, right?
So yeah, I want to understand what Daivam meant here. What are the things? I can understand the first four, but Daivam I always thought it was fate, and fate is the fifth aspect.
Fate means what? Again, that's what fate word and all you leave. Fate is not our word. Fate is coming with some other theological connotations. We leave the fate away. Daivam is there. So the word Daivam also normally we take it as Papa Punyam. Okay. Or even Bhagavan is there in the form of your Papa Punya, because even there we don't know which Papa Punya is exhausted in this life, correct?
Right. Drishtaphala.
That again Bhagavan only decides, we have to say. So the Papa Punya plays a very important, I already told you, correct? Your effort is there. We are not denying that. But the Daivam is the Papa Punya. And that also plays a role in whatever the karma and the karma phala that you are going to get.
Efforts may not guarantee success. So similarly, no efforts also.
Correct. Effort, without effort also there is no success, correct? Effort has to be there. See, it is like you are swimming in a swimming pool. You are swimming means there is no current. You can do whatever you want. Now every day I go to our river in our village. I swim there, so I know what is the problem. Current is there. Now the current is like your Papa Punya. Now you want to swim in that. Now what do? You put lot of effort and swim against the current. Then what happens? After some time you get up, you are in the same place. Now you say, no, my effort did not have any effect, correct? I put so much effort, but I am in the same place. Then why should I put effort? Then don't put effort, what will happen in the river? You will be some 100 meters downstream, correct?
But if I define success as going 100 meters downstream,
that is fine. Then that is means you are. That is what I say punya. See, what you want is enhanced by punya. What you want is enhanced by the current means you don't have to put any effort, correct? You just enter the river, automatically you will go with the flow. If you are able to go with the flow of your life, that is the best. Are you able to do that?
The problem with this kind of thinking is like, then why put an effort?
That's what I am saying. Why put an effort? Again, is a question of what you want. Depends on your likes and dislikes again, correct? If you are totally fine with going along with the flow, Go along with the flow. But you are not able to do that, correct? Then you have to put effort. And it depends on the flow then, how the current is. Your effort also has to be in keeping with that, or more than that if you want to actually swim against the current, correct? But that doesn't mean your effort does not have any effect. Definitely your effort is having effect. But of course it also depends on, one day the river current is very low, that day you are doing well. Another day the current is very swift, you can't do much, correct? That is what we say prabala prarabdham and all that. Certain things are prabala. It will happen in whatever effort you put. Certain things are happening means you have to accept at the end of the day, it is your own karma, correct? If you don't have the acceptance, then you will have only sorrow. Because all sorrow is because of denial. Because you will be thinking, why is this happening to me? Why should this be like this? No, that kind of a thinking is useless really, but it happens. And then you find yourself in sorrow. But if you are saying, okay, this is what is happening, this is my prarabdha, this is my karma, then you can think about doing something about it, correct? Maybe you can even do some puja, whatever. All astrology is basically, so astrology is not predicting future. Understand that.
It is
Astrology is a model to predict your prarabdha.
correct.
So according to your prarabdha, the astrologer will say these things should have happened or this can happen. But then he will give you prayasita also, correct? He say,
If you do X,
then you can neutralize. So that's why no astrologer can predict the future 100%, because again it depends on your own effort, correct? Or what you are ready to do and all that. So one is you have to accept. Acceptance means at least you don't have any sorrow. But for that certain maturity is required, some understanding is required, some attitude changes are required, cognitive change is required. Okay, my Guruji used to say. So even he used to give a talk series called Need for a Cognitive Change. So basically you have to change your thinking. And how can you change your thinking? You should have some background knowledge and certain insight. Only an insight can change the way you think. And if your thinking becomes different, then everything is going to become different also.
which sloka is that?
14.
18.
He asks about karma and all that, and he keeps on listing Adhisthana and all that.
What is moksha?
Moksha, I told you, no, moksha means you are free from all limitations. You are totally acceptable to yourself.
When you say you is a jiva is a free or bhava is a free?
You means I sense is there with everybody, correct? Forget jiva, there are terminologies are there, we can talk about it. But I as an entity, everybody, I is there. How do you know this I means? I don't have to use any means of knowledge to know myself, right? I am already there. I has to be there already to even use any means of knowledge. That is why we say it is Swaprakasha, Swatasiddha and all that. Self-existing, self-conscious reality, I is there. The I alone, I was baby, I was youth, I am now this person, whoever it is, or I may become old. I is the same. All these things are changing. I am the sleeper, I am the waker, I am the dreamer. There also I is the same. So I is the invariable in all these experiences. And this I alone we are trying to know. That I alone, Shastra says, is the limitless. All the problem is there. It's a very simple analysis. Let me tell you, it's nothing complicated. All the problems are there because you are putting the I on the not I. Correct? Atma, you are putting it on Anatma. How can I say that? Very simple. Whatever I see is not I. Correct? This all of you can accept.
I see the
Whatever
flag.
I see, whatever is an object of my knowledge is not I. Can all of you accept this?
Yes.
Then what about this? Up to this, everything is clear. Phone is not I. This is not I. This is not I. This is not I. Then what about this body? Body also, it is an object of your knowledge. Then why are you saying it is I? Once you say it is I, all the problem of the body is your problem. It is black, it is fat, whatever, it is paining, back is paining. So it's a fundamental error that you are placing the I on something I see. Whatever I see is not I.
Right.
Then what about all my thoughts and all that? That also I see. The thoughts are evident to me. What about hunger, thirst and all that? It is all evident to me. Whatever is evident to me is not I. In fact, my Guruji used to say that. So, normal logic, worldly logic is what? I see myself in sorrow, in sadness, in pain. Therefore, I am sorrowful. This is the normal logic. Vedantic logic is what? I see sorrow, therefore I am not sorrowful. Understand that.
This
I am the seer of the sorrow also. Everything is becoming evident to me. I am that conscious being who is the invariable in each and every cognition, and who is the only invariable, in fact, who is the only satyam. Everything else is only coming and going. Whatever comes and goes, whatever changes is not satyam according to us. Whatever is unchanging. Once you have ascertained this is this, it should never change. That alone is satyam. Shankaracharya clearly defines. Yad rupena yan nishchitam bhavati. You have done nischaya, that you have done ascertained that this is like this. Afterward, tanna vyabicharati. It never ever changes from that. Only one thing is there like that. What is that? I am, as a conscious being, I never change. I am always the same conscious being to whom everything becomes evident. Whatever becomes evident comes and goes, keeps on changing. Then that is all Vidya. It's not reality. It's not as real as myself. That is what again. Okay. So knowing that is moksha. If you know that you are the invariable, unchanging, conscious being, bodies come and go. Life and death is only for body. Consciousness is never born. It's unborn, undying. If you are able to internalize this knowledge, correct? That means you have transformed. Your self-identity is no more on your body-mind sense complex. That's what we say.
Yeah. Yes, bliss possible being a samsara.
So bliss and all that, again, these words are causing a lot of problems, I think. Ananda. So we say Ananda. So this Ananda, when we say, what is this Ananda? Is it an object? We are all seeking Ananda, correct? Everybody, I told you, I want to be happy. I want Ananda. That's what everybody is seeking. If everybody is seeking, it has to be some vastu, correct? Something. What is it? Did we analyze that? Is it an object? If it is an object, means you can go to your Costco and buy. They will give you even wholesale, I think, bigger packet and all that. But it's not any one vastu I can go and buy. Okay, Ananda is not a vastu. Maybe it is a quality of some vastu. Okay, if I see a nice car, yeah, I like a particular brand of car and all that, then I get Ananda. So then Ananda is, whether it's a quality of some vastu means, it is also not like that. Today I see that car, I am happy. Tomorrow I am not happy. And while I am seeing, only some other guy sees that and he is not getting any happiness out of that, correct? So it cannot be any particular quality also we cannot say. It's neither a dravya nor a Guna. It is not a substance. It is not a
Attribute.
quality or attribute of anything. Then what is this? This Ananda, we are all searching so much. What is it? This is so elusive means. Now, if you leave out Dravya and Guna and all that, what is left in this world?
You.
Correct? You have now essentially negated all the objects. The entire objective world is gone. Ananda is not there. Then only one thing is left now, correct? What is that? Myself, I alone is there, subject. And the subject alone, that's what the Shastra also says. You are the source of all Ananda already. But you are not, again you will ask, then why I am not feeling that?
That was Ajnana.
That is because again you are making all the wrong association, correct? You are as long as you have an identity with the body, then all the problems of the body only is evident to you all the time. Then where your own Ananda, you are not, it's all hidden from you, correct? You don't have to do anything to have Ananda. Ananda, you are already the source of all Ananda. You are the Ananda Swarupa. It's not a specific experience or anything, understand that? Or we can say like this, while sleeping, did you have any problems? While waking, you have so many problems. All the problems of the body, mind, sense complex are my problem in the waking. Now you are in deep sleep, sound sleep. You have any problems there? No.
No.
So it's a very, very desirable state, correct? For everybody, deep sleep is very desirable. In
Because
fact,
you
you
don't know who
take,
you are.
even in old age, many people take sleeping pill and all that. At least I want some sleep. Because it is very, and why is it very, what is there in that deep sleep then? Why is it so desirable? Is there any specific object or anything? Nothing, correct? But that is because that's the Ananda Swarupa. Your own Ananda Swarupa only is there in the sleep, but it is there along with some Ajnanam, because once you wake up again, you are back to all the problems. Correct?
I guess the question
So the idea, tell.
is doing the right thing, living in this world as a samsara, being in this society is very difficult.
Correct. I don't say it is easy.
So the only way is being a sannyasi.
Hmm?
So the question is the sannyasi the best way?
See, this is not your question alone, correct? I told you, Arjuna keeps on asking the same thing. But what Bhagavan says, Sannyasastu Mahabaho Dukkham Aptum Ayogataha. I think he says in the 5th chapter very clearly. Okay? For the person who is not ready, sannyasa is only a dukkha. Right? Because whatever is legitimate for a householder is no more legitimate for the sannyasi. Sannyasi means, what is sannyasa? You are voluntarily giving up all roles except for only 2 roles. Only 2 roles are available for a sannyasi. Either you are a student or you are a teacher. If you are a student, means you have taken Vividisha sannyasa, that is called. That means what? For you, Atma Jnanam alone is important. With a great desire to acquire this knowledge, you are simplifying your life. Means you have now voluntarily given up all the other roles. You are no more a son, daughter, husband, wife, whatever, correct? Father, mother, all are gone. You are not even actually, traditionally, you are not even a citizen. A sannyasi cannot have even a passport. Understand that. You are not a citizen of any kingdom. Within India, it was honored. In those days, sannyasis can go any kingdom, correct? Nobody asked them for visa, passport, and all that. And every king honored them also. They are not citizen. You don't have the citizen means you have both rights and duties, correct? But a sannyasi does not have the duties of a citizen also. And even Nitya Naimitika Karma also, Shastra itself frees you from that also. So sannyasa lifestyle means you have to be already mature enough to give up all these roles. Are you ready? Then you take sannyasa. That is the best. Shankaracharya argues for that all the time, correct? But that's a question you have to answer yourself. If you come and ask me, should I take sannyasa? Always I will say no. Why? So if you really want to take sannyasa, you will not be asking anybody. So until the time somebody is asking, means you will always say no.
There anybody online who wants to ask a question? No? Any other mother? Oh,
I think we already late maybe.
here or somebody?
I have a question. When you first said, when you start as a sadhaka, when you started your sadhana, the end goal should be sight.
Correct.
So was the end goal of mumukshakam or, attaining moksha, was it clear to you when you started?
Correct.
your sadhana?
That's a good question. Like I told you, there was some clarity that I have. That is, I had clarity with reference to the worldly pursuits that's not going to make me totally contented. But still, I didn't have any clarity about what our saints and gurus they really achieved. That clarity also was given by my guru only. I have to say. In fact, that is one of the reasons I got very attracted to him, was he had that clarity. He was able to give me that clarity about what I was really seeking and what is the road, whatever the roadmap for that. Correct, the means for that. That is also a guru only has to give you.
One more question. You mentioned, Vaikuntha, Golokam,
Hmm.
and that, moksha is here.
Correct, here and now.
So, in Vedantam, is it, Saguna versus Nirguna? Are you only dealing with the Nirguna, or are you, when you think of Ishvara?
Ishvara means, of course, Ishvara. Initially, we have to think Ishvara as something other than ourselves, right? With the form and all that. Even we, all the upasana is all based on some form, correct? Dhyana shlokam is there. For every devata, we have dhyana shlokam. But whoever is your Ishta Devata, first you are having a certain form and all that, and then you are doing upasana and all that. But then you have to also analyze what is the nature of that Devata, correct? That is why even Bhagavan, when he talks about bhakta, he classifies them as 4 different types of bhakta. So what does he say? Artho Jignasur Artharthi Jnani cha Bharatarshabha. Like that he says, I think in the 7th chapter or 7th. So Artaha. In fact, everybody starts as Artha Bhakta. Means what? Normally you are not thinking about Bhagavan, but you have some difficulty, means you are under some affliction, some problem, means Bhagavan will come to your mind. Means you are Artha Bhakta at least. Artharthi is one step better. Artharthi means what? You want Bhagavan as your partner. Whenever you start anything, okay, prayer to Bhagavan. Hey, Bhagavan, you are a practical person, correct? Every businessman is an Artharthi. They all know, because business also is like that. This 9 to 5 workers, they don't know what is risk and all that. Every business person knows there's a business risk, correct? In spite of their effort, always things can go wrong. You can have a loss. That means they are practical people. And they want to have Bhagavan on their side to take care of that. It's a risk mitigation strategy. You are a Artharthi. But up to this, everything is fine. You are saying, okay, I have a Bhagavan, Shankam, Chakram and all that. I'm doing dhyana, I'm doing puja. But then after some time, you have to ask, okay, all that is fine, but what is the real nature of this Bhagavan? This is Bhagavan is all only Saumyam or what? All nice to look at and all that. Means that's not the truth of Bhagavan also. If you want to know the truth of Bhagavan, Bhagavan is everything. That's what he showed in the 11th chapter. Then Arjuna became afraid. He says, Kalo Osmi Lokakshayakrit Pravriddhaha. He says, I am the Kala. Lokakshayakrit. I am the one who is destroying everything, all the lokas. All these people are already gone. I will take care. He is showing all that. So Arjuna means Arjuna became afraid. He later on says, no, you show your Saumya Rupa. This is okay. All this, whatever Vishwarupa you have given me, that is making. Why? Because he saw himself different from Bhagavan. Understand that. As long as you are thinking that you are different from Bhagavan, Even Bhagavan's nature, once you know, it will become only Bhayakarma. But Bhagavan is everything. Don't think Bhagavan is only good. It's not our view. This good, evil, God, Satan, and all this duality is a problem of other theologies.
Not for us.
We chant Rudram. What do we chant in that? Stenanam Pataye Namaha. You know what is the meaning of that? Stenaha means who? The thief. You are saying Rudra is the chief pati of all the thieves also. Nattancharebhyaha. Nattancharo also is there. Not only normal thief, he comes at night. There are special thieves who come at night, correct? At 3 o'clock they will always come because it's very difficult for anybody to be awake. Between 2 to 4, everybody will fall asleep. All this is there. So don't think that only the good is Bhagavan. Good, bad, and all again is our own way of looking at it. Everything is really Bhagavan for us. So that you have to understand. The reality of Bhagavan, once you start understanding, you become a jignasu. That is what is a jignasu. Jignasu also is a bhakta. But now you are not content with some Bhagavan's form and all that. But you want to know the truth of Bhagavan. And now you analyze, you study. Then what do you find? Bhagavan is not separate from me. That's what you have to find finally. Then you are a jnani. Jnani also is a bhakta, but he knows Ananya Bhakti, we say. Ananya Bhakti means what? Some people think that all the time I'm thinking of Bhagavan and all. No, it's not like that. Whatever you think of is Bhagavan only, correct? What is separate from Bhagavan? Every object is Bhagavan for us. Bhagavan is not separate from any one thing. Whatever you are seeing, whatever you are thinking, each and every thought is Bhagavan. If you understand that, you have Ananya Bhakti because you are never away. You can never be away, correct? That can only come from understanding. Nobody can keep on thinking only one thing. Then you can't even live, correct? For living, you have to think different things.
But you attribute everything that is Bhagavan. And then
You know clearly that each and everything is not separate from Bhagavan, and whatever you think also is not separate, whether it is good, bad, ugly, evil, whatever it is.
that is Mumuksha.
That is Jnani. Jignasu means one who wants to know the Swarupa of Bhagavan is a Jignasu. Then if you have known it, and then Bhagavan says, Jnani to Atmaiva me matam. Jnani is me only. Jnani is not separate from me. He says that.
I have a small question. All the problems you have discussed here are coming to one simple question. Who am I?
Correct.
So, to understand who you are, the problem is solving every question. In that case, I want to ask you this. The people who want to discover who they are identify who they are. And you are saying, I am, that I want to be. So, they want to suppress, they want to demoralize, and then years in that they completely shut off from the world and reflecting internally. And we believe that when you do Pratyahara and other Samadhi state, you will realize that you are yourself become. These beings are everywhere. My question to you is that kind of going away ignorance or other seeking this point, I believe no word of thought. And reiterate like that. Is that the time when one realizes that he is himself God, or there are other ways of easier ways than that?
No, see, that's a total misconception, I think. Of course, you are free to go anywhere and do meditation and all that. Right? It's not that we don't say you should not do that. But that's not what even Bhagavan says, correct? Bhagavan did not send Arjuna to Himalayas. In fact, Arjuna wants to go to Himalayas.
He stopped him from going to.
Leave everything. Correct? So, but Bhagavan says, no, you stay here in Kurukshetra. Don't go to Haridwar. And do the whatever you are supposed to do. And he even says that is the easier way, in fact. Later on, some other place also he says that. This is the Karmapala Tyaga is the easiest thing for one to do. You can remain where you are. It's all in the mind, correct? You keep doing whatever is to be done. And along with that, you also study the Shastra. Without studying the Shastra, there is no special experience or anything. Understand that. Just by sitting in one cave, also, you can still remain an ignorant person. There is no guarantee that for knowledge to happen, there has to be a means of knowledge. It has to work. Then only knowledge will happen. Just sitting with yourself also, unless you have heard the Shastra from a guru, you can sit by yourself and recollect that jnanam. That is fine. But without any Shastra study, without knowing your reality, what are you going to reflect on? Or what are you going to do by just sitting? Just shutting down your mind is not samadhi. That is happening even in your deep sleep every night, correct? Your mind is shut down.
What is described for us to be that we should be doing?
Whatever, see, you have certain roles. If you are a grandfather and you have a role, you do that right now. Correct? Whatever is you are finding yourself in a certain situation today. In that, whatever is to be done, you do. You have to start from there always.
And do it with karma phala tyaga. That is the
Karma phala tyaga.
that is the main.
That doesn't mean you don't expect a karma phala. See, there is another problem. In English, karma yoga means they say, do your duty, don't expect result. Now, without expecting result, you cannot even decide what to do, correct? Karma itself is defined by the expectation of a result. So there I think what they really mean again is missed out. Expect result means don't expect result to make you happy. You have to add a little bit more, I think. You have to
Will not
expect the
make you
result.
happy.
With result only you decide the karma. But that karma you are not doing thinking that is going to make me happy or anything. You are not even interested in the limited result, really speaking. But you are still doing it because you want to purify
Your chitta.
yourself. That is the only result you are really interested in. The actual karma phala, that is then that you have done
That is
jnana.
the
That's why.
residual result.
Ah.
Be it so be it. Real result is chitta shuddhi and
Ah.
the chitta.
Then you are free from the whatever result also, correct? Whether it is plus, minus and all that, then you can take it in the stride.
Each varnashramam and maybe a misconception I heard somewhere, but it's associated with certain part of the karma kanda or the purva bhaga is more for vrashramam and then for aranya kaga for later stages.
Correct. That is correct. It's not wrong. See, because only a grihastha is qualified to do agni karma. Correct? Before that, brahmachari can only do samhidadana. There is no agni karma for a brahmachari. So you have to do only a grihastha can do all the other samskaras which are there. So many are there, correct? And more elaborate things like somayagas, etc. So that is there. So ashrama is very important. Varna also is important. See, nowadays, of course, Varna is a confusion now because traditionally, if you go to any acharya and ask, Varna means it is dependent on your birth also. It's not that totally the birth cannot be taken away. But nobody is now doing karma as per your Varna or your birth Varna at least. So then we have to say, okay, even if that is not possible now, you have to, but still you have to decide what is your duty, correct? At the end of the day, it is easier to decide your duties if you go by your birth varna, correct? Otherwise, it is going to become confusion. Again, your likes and dislikes will play a role in deciding what your duties are. You understand what I am saying? So you have to decide that, but nowadays the situation is like that. But once you decide, then you have to do your duty as per your varna and ashrama. Varna ashrama dharma is our Vishesha dharma. Samanya dharma is there for everybody. But specific to you, what is that? Means varna ashrama dharma only. Depending on your varna and ashrama, you have to do your whatever is to be done.
God is everywhere. So we go to the Punya-kshetras, depending on the faith. Okay? You go to Kasi or Tirupati or Srinagar. So what does the Punya-kshetra mean when God is everywhere, equally distributed everywhere, and you see everywhere?
Correct. So, see, God is everywhere is something we have to understand. Okay? So, again, this Ishvara as one who is there everywhere is one thing. Then we have all these devatas, deities, and all that, correct? I think there is some confusion between the two also. So when we talk about a deity, there is always some story associated with that. There is even every Punya Sthalam also has a Purana associated, Sthala Purana and all we say, correct? So those things are there. That means that Sthalam is having some speciality. See, within the Srishti, Taratamyam is there. Nobody is saying that there is no Taratamyam. Understand that. Taratamyam means what? There are different gradations of things are there. So that way, Punya Kshetra means that is the Punya Kshetra. That's what our ancestors are given us, correct? This is a Punya Kshetra. This Devata here is special. Or for this particular type of prayer, in this Kshetra, you will get Phala. Those are all given to us already. And as Astikas, we go along with that. Nothing wrong in that. That doesn't negate that Bhagavan is everywhere. If you understand that, you don't want to go, you don't need to go anywhere. That's a different thing.
To understand that, you have to go anywhere.
That's all, correct. You got it.
So to understand that, continuously you have to process it. You have to go.
So saying that
The reason it's hard to understand is that we are all, it's like vicious and beats, and everybody wants it. They're not free of it. So either like, and people do actually have like an Islam, like you have like also for the fun. It's not like everybody will be happy all the time, or you can sad all the time. Things happens when you are very sad. That's when actually you want to go to a different place. If you're happy, you don't even care about it. Generally, if you're like 100% happy, like
Correct.
That in the Artho, no? Artho first.
then you don't
level
generally, right? Like you only like pray the God, you go to temple or Aarsha, wherever you want, because you are seeking something where you want to go.
Correct.
So then, like that is you are going there for a reason.
Correct. Nothing wrong. See, intelligent living means you have to seek help. All human beings are limited, I told you, correct? Whoever you think you may be, but even one mosquito is good enough to get you, correct? Or one virus is good enough. You can't even see what it is. Now everybody, we know what happened. So whoever you think you are, all of us are limited. That means we all need help. Where do you go for help? You go to another human being, that human being also is equally limited, correct? That's why we have to go to only Bhagavan. There's nothing wrong in that. You seek help means, seeking help means it is intelligent living. Intelligent living means you should know when you need help. And you should seek that help also. You should not have any problem in seeking help. Because most problems we see in the world is because people don't know when they need help. Even if they know they need help, they are not seeking it. If somebody does not seek help, it's very difficult to help them also, correct? You may want to help everybody, but if the other person is not ready to receive means, what will you do? You can't do anything. Maybe you can do prayer then. That's all we can do.
There is a saying in Telugu, without asking, Amma Annam Kuda Petadu. So you have to ask, right?
Maybe he has to cry.
Yes. So you have to ask, and ask intelligently, you have to think and ask.
So there is this thought that if you pass away in Kashi, then you attain moksha. So
That moksha is that means you get a good gati and all that, sadgati, because there the thing is that Shiva himself is there, and then he gives you the Rama mantra, Taraka mantra. There, Mahadeva is giving you Diksha if you pass away there, and then that will help you then. Like that is the belief.
But you still have to come back. There's no.
Wherever you go, again you have to learn the same
not
thing.
Vidya
So
Mukti.
my Guruji used to say, you do everything, whatever great punya, you go to Brahmaloka. There also Brahmaji will be teaching the same thing.
Same.
Better you learn it here only, no? He will say that.
Yeah, you have to correct.
Wherever you go, you have to learn the same
Same.
thing. There is no way. Yeah.
So I guess in terms of like Buddhism and Buddhism, like we all talk that like people are like good if they follow the dharma and like these were like practices. But like what exactly like is dharma? Like what do you have to do in order to like attain dharma or like be like follow the dharma?
Yeah, see, dharma is a bigger topic anyway. To tell you simply, I even told already there is a Samanya Dharma, Vishesha Dharma, I said, correct? Samanya Dharma means that which is common. Why do we say it is common? Because it is commonly sensed by everybody. We even talk about a common sense or we talk about a conscience, correct? Everybody has a conscience or a common sense. What is that common sense means? We are born with the sense of what is right and wrong. And how do I say that means? That is what we say golden rule and all that, correct? Basically, we are all 50% dharmic. How? Because we are very clear what others should do to us. So 50% is clear. Everybody should be truthful to me. They have to treat me nicely. They should not shout at me. They should not harm me. They should not hit me. They should not ask me anything, whatever. Correct? So that is clear. Then what about the other 50%? Then what are you going to do then? You also know that everybody has the same expectation like you have. Now that itself becomes a basis for what we call Samanya Dharma. So we all know we need not be taught. Understand this. Most animals are also born with some knowledge, correct? Otherwise they won't survive. You take a turtle, it's very amazing. When we were in school, there's olive ridley turtle like that we used to have on the beaches of Chennai. We used to walk during that season. And the turtle will come. It will dig on the beach, put lot of eggs in fact. And then it will close it and go away. That's it. There is no nothing else. Turtle doesn't do anything else. In the course of the time, that small turtle will come from that. But first thing it will know is it will start running towards the sea. How does it know that? Instinctively it knows, correct? It is born with the, otherwise it knows. It will not go towards the road. It will always go towards the sea. And it will be really, it will dash because it knows predators are also waiting at that time, correct? All these birds and all that. So many animals like this we see they are all born with some knowledge. Otherwise they won't even survive. Like that we are also born with some common sense of what is right and wrong. Because we all know what we want. We all know what others also want the same thing. So that itself is a basis for what is right and wrong. Beyond that, again, like I told you, what is right and wrong also is context specific. It is not always, there is nothing absolute in that. So how do you know that your context again depends on what is your role in life. That is based on your varnashrama again. Or again, if you don't go by varna by birth also, depending on whatever karma you have chosen to do, your varna is defined based on that. You have become a teacher, means then you have a certain role there, correct? You have become a soldier, means you have some other role. You have become a doctor. You cannot become a doctor and say, no, I won't hurt anybody. I will not cut open. It is himsa. Blood is coming. You cannot say that. You cannot become a soldier and say, I will not shoot. Correct? That's only dereliction of duty then. It is not ahimsa. So, again, right and wrong, both Samanya Dharma trumps always, mostly. But then specific situation, context specific also, Vishesha Dharma, if it is there, then that will trump the Samanya Dharma. But whichever way it is, you know what is right and wrong in every given situation, or you should know. Let us say you have confusion. I already told you, even if you are confused, you cannot claim ignorance. You have a duty to get clarified what is right or wrong. And then do the right thing. Then you are dharmic, correct? Clear?
Good question. Very good. Okay, so we'll end today. It's already 1 o'clock. Yeah, one? Okay.
Guruji, we all know, like, we all understood what is most of the Gurus say the same thing, first you should worship the Surya, and then you should, you should, in the daily practice, like, every day you should have a certain, like,
Correct. Some regimen is important, discipline. Yeah.
so that is the main actual basic foundation. But when we come into practice, some days goes by, we actually feel the result of the effort we put in, and then suddenly we get into the samsara, and then again we divert from the path, and again coming back it takes a lot of time. So it feels like the whole life is going in, staying in good path. So when will we actually get?
That's what coming back is important. It's not that everybody in anybody's life, again, so many things are happening in your life, correct? You cannot be stable. So if you want to follow the same regimen, there has to be some stability. But that nobody can guarantee that in anybody's life anything can happen. Then you may feel like you have been now pushed into doing something else. You don't have time for whatever you originally wanted and all that. That is all fine. But that also is your duty only, correct? That is why that's why Swakarma is important. Swakarma is not any one thing. Of course, on a normal day you have a certain Swakarma, means on an emergency day your Swakarma is different, correct? That also is your Swakarma. You have to do it with the same attitude. Then you won't feel like you have gone somewhere else and all that. Is it clear what I am saying? That also you have to do that. Do with the same attitude. Then you are not going anywhere. You are still the same sadhaka. That is also a sadhana for you. And then once that is over, you come back to this. You are regular. Correct? You should be able to come back.
So we'll end now. We have some lunch prasadam, so let's eat that. But before everybody leaves, I just